Hey, what's up, Ballsville and newcomers? Everybody that's hopped into our mini game that we just popped up, our little survivor pool. This is our Gauntlet Recap. This is a little show that we do at the beginning of the week to kind of recap the weekend. And we cover our Gauntlet game, which is our one of a kind game. We'll get into some of those details considering the new people we have. But first, want to go around the horn here and introduce our guests. With us, looking super sharp, give him a little props before the show. It's our Giants friend Christopher. Sorry for cussing. How you doing, Chris?
Doing just dandy. How's everybody else doing?
Doing great out here, man. It's nice and hot in California again in October. Uh, Ethan, our friend, always doing good things for us and keeping our comments going in that Discord and all throughout all the leagues, man. We appreciate your activity and all the kind words that you've had to say lately. How you doing, Ethan?
Doing good. Thank you for having me, Alex. Crazy week of some football. Glad to see some newcomers coming. Glad that you got this mini game started. Play some more Survivor pool for, especially a lot of us that play Survivor on a daily basis and got knocked out due to this crazy week. It's good to get the community flowing, and it's good to have everybody here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Actually, it was you and Chris going back in the Discord about your Arizona pick that kind of, you and somebody going back. That's what kind of got me thinking about Survivor and kind of spawned the idea for the minigame. It's been a wild one, and people start to hit those 0-5 and 1-4 records and get a little bummed out. So why not a little pick me up? And I've never done it, but I do know somebody that has. Our friend Cyborg is the survivor pool guy, the pick'ems guy, and tell us how you do it, Cyborg. Give us a little peek behind the curtain.
Oh, don't call me no expert by no means. I mean, I'm just running my first survivor pool this year. Only reason I never tackled it before is because I've always been in that mindset of letting everybody play as long as possible. And I know the idea of eliminations where, once you're eliminated, you lose interest. You're not even checking the pool or whatever anymore. So, but I'm finding it a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I mean, you only make one pick. You can only make one pick on one team one time during the season. So if you pick, Houston one week, you can't use them again the rest of the season. So then you have to look at the rest of the season and the way it's scheduled, their schedule and everything, and try to determine, how you're going to do this. So a lot of people think it's easy. I mean, I've got a lot of guys in there that are like, oh yeah, I got this. You wouldn't believe. And yet, I don't know how. There's 140 something people in there, so I don't know which ones have said that and have gotten eliminated eventually. I'm not keeping up that closely, but yeah, it's going to get more and more tight as the season continues on and people are eliminated, and I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
So yes.
Have you so I think it's safe to assume that you were taking part in some of these survivor pools and stuff before it was introduced to Sleeper, maybe when it was back on spreadsheets. How long have you been
No,
doing it?
I was doing pick'em pools mainly. Pick'em pools.
Nice.
For the whole season. You pick the winners by confidence points and or by spreads, and I still have those going. And so the confidence one is the most expensive. So I didn't get a lot of players this year. About 30. Normally I get about 50. So a little over half. But I
I like
understand
it.
it. Times are tough right now, so I didn't really expect that. So anyway, it's a lot of fun too. So.
So I'm new to it, and I look at the Sleeper interface, and I go, "Wow, this thing it's pretty attractive. It's got some cool little ways of doing things. You can just get in
Oh
there
yeah.
and pick it, and it keeps track of everything. So we're gonna test it out, guys. If you're watching and somehow you're not part of it, in the Discord or go to our hub. If you're part of the hub, if you're one of the players, it's pinned in your league. Join us there and look for the link for the Survivor mini game. And the three gentlemen that you're seeing right here are the guys behind it that have helped me to create it. And Ethan and Chris there are the ones running it, and I came to Cyborg first for the advice. So I appreciate you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Free to enter, $50 to the winner, and it's not exclusive to Ballsville. We will have one more mini game, and it will be exclusive to Ballsville players only. So make sure you're with us for the ride. This is our fifth, and we should have a sixth one by the end of the season. So moving on, guys, we're gonna get into a little bit of NFL news. Well, the headline today, right? Flacco to Cincinnati. What does it mean? Chris, tell us about it.
It's just another quarterback. I mean, the way that offensive line is, just throwing an old guy back there is not gonna help much. I don't think. I mean, if you've only got a second and a half to 2 seconds to get rid of the ball, I don't know going to a older than 40 quarterback is gonna do you any good.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to agree with that. His mobility is going to be an issue. It's going to be a rough one. Another piece of news is the shift that looks like it's taking touches away from Chase Brown, and P. Ryan's getting more of the opportunity and kind of doing a little bit better with it. How do you think this Flacco trade to Cincinnati affects the running backs, Ethan?
Well, we know that O-line's terrible. We know that defense is terrible. I really don't know what Cincinnati's trying to do. I don't even know why they traded for Flacco. They played at Flacco earlier this year. Flacco didn't really do much. I don't really know if they're trying to, win to make the playoffs or what they're trying to do. People were drafting Chase Brown in the first round this year, just drafting him thinking he was just going to be elite. But I mean, surely if Burrow was back there, surely, some things would be a little different. But I mean, even when Burrow was playing for a couple games, he didn't really impress. But I don't know if it's the fact that, the Bengals realize they're not really going anywhere and just trying to give Brown, just some like extra rest, to when like next year or whenever they'll actually be ready to hopefully compete again. But I just don't even see why I even bring him in. I agree with Chris. They just brought him in just because he's another body. Browning had a few flashes last game finally, but
yeah,
I don't see why bringing him in. He's 41. The defense sucks. And he's not going to be able to keep up with as many points as that defense is allowing. The offense is kind of mid to me. That's what I think. What do you think, Cyborg?
Sorry, I've been messing with my lamp. Keeps falling over on me. But you're right. With Burrow going out, I had Burrow in several leagues, so that's hurt. I don't know. I don't follow the Browns that closely, but I do know that they are in trouble. They
yeah, totally. Yeah, do you have any of them on your fantasy roster? Do you have any Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, or anybody?
Yeah. I do not have T. Higgins in a lot of leagues. I don't know. There was just something better at the time,
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at ADP and see who was going around them. I only have him in one league, and I'm pretty sure he dropped in value, and I was like, okay, I got to take him at this point. So another piece of news, I don't know if you guys heard this, but it seems like there's no guarantee that Kittle is going to be coming back into the lineup next week after coming off IR. You have a lot of Kittle, Chris?
Yeah.
I got a few spots with him in there, but he's just fine on my IR. I did pretty well picking up guys that can just throw in. I got a lot of Kraft and what really hurts me this week is Strange, because I did have Strange in a bunch, and he's on IR now. So, but other than that, I do try to keep good depth for tight end. I like to have at least 3 tight ends on my roster at all times, usually. So I got a body I can always throw in.
I was going to be forced to play Strange, and I needed a tight end badly, so I went in Dynasty and sold a 3rd-round pick to pick up none other than Zach Ertz with the big goose this week, so that did not pay off. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the injured 49ers later, but for Ethan, I know you watched that game last night, man. I know you watched that Chiefs versus Jags. Tell me what you thought about it.
Hey, I watched a little of it. I didn't watch all of it. I fell asleep during it. Look, I fell asleep thinking the Chiefs had the game won. Like I genuinely did. But we got in the Discord, we got a message, I believe it was from SmackDown MJD, I believe is his name, saying how AI Overview already knows the Jaguars are going to beat the Chiefs, which was also it wasn't my underdog prediction, but it was just one of my predictions. The Jags would beat the Chiefs. Jags are a good team. Jags are legit. Who does not
Yeah.
think the Jags are legit? Does anybody think the Jags are not legit? Because they really are. Travis Hunter, look, I watched some highlights from yesterday. He had a great game. He's just going to keep shining on both sides of the ball. Mainly defense, I would think. Their running game's good. Trevor Lawrence looked good yesterday. People have been saying he looks bad, but to me, I mean, he looks like he belongs there. He looks good in Jacksonville to me.
Oh yeah. So that's a good point. I was actually going to prepare a screenshot so that we can look at that AI message, but SmackDown did leave a message and it kind of recapped the games for the weekend. And the last one it said was the Kansas City Chiefs lose to the Jags on Monday Night Football. We all kind of went, whoa. And I think I said, if that comes true, I said next week we got to bet the farm on it, right? You got to take what you got and go and bet on that. So we'll let you know as soon as we can what the prediction is for next week and see if we can make some money off of that. So going to you, Cyborg, I don't know how much of a Chargers fan you are, but I know for me personally, after the Najee injury, I was, bittersweet. We all love Najee. He's a diehard, but I had a lot of Omarion Hampton at running back. And so I was same thing with Benson. I was kind of relieved that both of them had the opportunity. And now with that O-line decimated, Hampton's injured. What do you think they got to do going forward? And do you have a lot of Hampton in your leagues?
I do not. No, I do not. I'm not sure why. I don't have a lot of Chargers people at all, actually. Stafford, where's Stafford at right now? I'm drawing a blank. He's on the Rams.
The other LA team.
The other LA team.
But yeah, I don't know how they're going there. I mean, my mind was on the Jacksonville just now, and I'm like, because I was listening to Ethan talk about it, I was agreeing with him in a lot of those senses and everything. I'm sorry to switch it, but yeah. I do have one thing. I do have one. Well, I do. I have a hot take. 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 Trevor Lawrence. So now Trevor Lawrence is somebody that I don't know, for the last 7 years, a few years, whenever I'm doing drafts, dynasty, whatever, he's always been rated so high, and I've gotten him in the early days. I got him because he was up there, and just disappointment after disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And he was actually going in this year. He was on my D&D list, do not draft, because of this history. And now, granted, I'm starting to give him a second look. I don't know if it's a wave that he's riding right now and it's going to fall back down or what, but maybe they're actually right this year. I don't know. I mean, it just seems like he's already gone through that area where he should have improved by now, but who knows, right? Anything could happen.
So do you think he sustains it? Do you think he's going to keep it up for the rest of the year?
Oh, the rest of the year, man, that's a big old if, man. That's a big old if. Just because of the history. That's all I'm going by, really. I mean, I don't know.
It was nice to see Brian Thomas finally get going, and like Ethan said, there was a few good receptions for Travis Hunter there. We all saw that juke move he put on. That was pretty sweet. Only got him a couple more yards, but when he does that in the open field and takes off and takes the ball to the house, I mean, who's going to be surprised? The kid has the talent. I hope he gets a few more opportunities once that secondary gets reformed and they get some reinforcements there. It'll be nice to see what they do.
About Travis Hunter. It's good on sleeper because, if he's going to be playing defense more, you can play him as a DB.
An IDP. If you're playing IDP leagues.
He did jump into the rankings this week, wide receiver 64 overall. So he's moving on up.
Breaking barriers. All right, guys. So speaking of some of the injuries we had, the injury to Hampton, we brought up the Cardinals. We're going to kind of get into what these injuries mean for you. We're going to do our waivers, our waiver pickups, and keep in mind what we have are very deep leagues. If you're playing in the redraft leagues, they are I'm pretty sure they are start 9 or start 10.
This playing is
right?
10.
Start 10, and we have 11 player benches. So you're rostering a lot of people. plus your IR. So the waiver is really slim pickings there. If you're in the Gauntlet leagues, which is what we're here to talk about, you're going to have access to a couple more players because that's start 9, and we only have seven bench spots. So there's people on the waiver wire that pop up. So to talk about our waiver wires, we're going to hand it over to Ethan, and Ethan's going to get us started with what he thinks of which, buddy? Oh, wow, we went all the way over there. Okay, there we go. Chargers running backs. Ethan, take it away.
All right. We're going to talk about, since Amari and Hampton did get placed on the injury reserve list today, we're going to talk about these two backs right here. They're going to be next up in line. You got Hassan Haskins. You got Kamani Badal. We haven't really seen much of either back. We do know when Hampton got injured last game, we seen Kamani Badal. I've seen him in the game more. I actually had it on my TV, seen him in the game more than Haskins. I was kind of a fan of Badal when he got drafted, more so than Haskins. I'm gonna pass it to you, Cyborg. Do you have a favorite in this running back room that takes the RB1, takes the RB role since Hampton's gone?
Man, I'll be honest. I don't know much about either one of these guys.
It's okay. A lot of people don't.
They're deep cuts.
People don't.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I don't know. I mean, I have nothing. I mean,
Chris,
that's fine.
Player
I think I put.
If you need either one of these guys to win for you, you might as well just pack up the season anyways. Just wait for Hampton to come back.
Yeah.
Alex, do you think it's going to be a committee there in LA Chargers where both of these players are getting some type of timeshare? Because that's what I'm thinking it might be.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Honestly, what I really think it means is I think that it's going to be a little bit more of the short and intermediate passes kind of run through the pass game. We've kind of seen both of these guys behind the quarterback, and neither one of them has really wowed us. Vidal did have a following, but it never really panned out, and he did get a few opportunities when he came out and just didn't really wow us on tape. So I think it's a coin flip. They'll probably ride the hot hand, if anything.
I agree with that as well. Whoever's got the hot hand. We don't have a slide posted for this, but for a moment, I'm going to talk about the Arizona running backs. They got 3 of them. They're kind of in a timeshare over there. Amari, I can't say his last name. We know who he is, the one that ran the ball all the way to the end zone and drops it on the 1. And you got him, Michael Carter, and you got can't think of his Bam Knight or Zonovan Knight, whatever you want to call him. My personal opinion is that Michael Carter shown enough last game to where he's honestly the alpha back over there. We were hearing that it's going to be a 3-way split, last week, but I think Amari done messed up. Bam Knight really isn't a true, he's going to play half your snaps. I think Michael Carter is going to lean into, getting most of the work. Cyborg, do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, and you're asking me about teams I don't really follow.
A lot of these players, a lot of people don't know. It's just we go off of what the evidence we got and what we see in the play. And Chris, you got any thoughts about that?
I would trust Michael Carter more than I trust either of these Chargers backs, and because the IR is going to keep both of these guys out the same amount of time, probably, maybe longer for one over the other. But I will tell you this: Demicardo is probably in the doghouse after this last week, and I think they already showed that Carter can move the ball, put up some numbers. So that's who I would put my trust in right now.
What did he do? What happened?
He ran it 63 yards and dropped it on the 1 before he scored, celebrate before he scored. And I said in the Discord just joking, like, he's got to earn his shine. Like, he shouldn't be doing all that before,
I did see that play.
Got a running back 1 role in his offense. Alex, are you playing any of them running backs this week, or are you planning on it?
Well, you know what? Michael Carter did kind of hold his spot down. I think if you're in trouble, out of all the running backs we just talked about, I think he's probably your best option there. DeMarcado is that guy that kept on jumping in front of Trey Benson last year when we wanted him to get the opportunities. And unfortunately, he is a capable back. So if he's not in the doghouse, it could be more of a split, and that would just spell trouble. So I mean, I'm trying to avoid these at all costs. You know, like Chris just said, if you're relying on them, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
We're
he's
talk
not
about
so
it.
far. Yep, that's
Oh,
right.
man.
All right. Moving on.
All right, now we're going to talk about the San Francisco 49 IRs, the 49 injury reserve. We got
Oh,
Kendrick Bourne and Jake Tongas. As we know, unless we didn't pay attention Thursday night, both these players on your screen had a great game. Did any of y'all on cast? Did any of y'all play any of these guys anywhere?
I had Bourne in one
man.
league.
I think you faced me in that league.
Yeah,
I think I
Out
saw
of
him on your
nowhere.
roster. So, guys, this is embarrassing, but if you watched this last week, first of all, it was a whole different aura last week. But if you watched, I was on here making a fool out of myself, pumping up Demarcus Robinson because the process was there. I just had the wrong dude, right? I thought the revenge game narrative was going to propel Robinson to try his best, and maybe the Rams just knew him too well and they shut him down. But he got a couple of looks. I was hoping to take a victory sip after that first quarter touchdown attempt, and I just got the wrong guy, man. So,
That's all that was. Throughout the game, I was, I spotted Kendrick Bourne's number. I didn't even know what his number was before the game. I said, they keep throwing it to that guy a lot. And I'm like, oh, that's Kendrick Bourne. And he's over here. I mean, he put up, like 30 points. And Jake Tongas had a monster game, too. As one of y'all mentioned earlier, Kittle should be expected to be out some more time. So both these guys should still, or Tongas at least will have a consistent role in the offense. So if you're desperate for a tight end, you could feel free to roll with Tongas if there's no better options.
I kind of think that Bourne is still going to be in the offense, even if Purcell and Jennings come back.
Yeah, Jennings is always 50-50.
He looked good, and like you said, every time he caught a ball, I was like, okay, who's that now? And it was still him.
Where's Robinson at?
Yes, so the 49 IRs, I like that. I've never heard that before. So good job. All right, moving on.
Okay, so I didn't even think we would be talking about this guy ever, especially today or anytime. Ryan Florney, we thought George Pickens was going to have another monster game. Turpin was out that game. Jalen Tolbert did absolutely nothing that game. So I'm gonna ask you, Cyborg, since you seem to be a Dallas fan. Does Flournoy does he jump into that wide receiver 2 range behind Pickens now that while Lamb is still out? Do you think?
I think so. Yes. I think so. Yes. Where was this guy picked up from? I don't know the history of this guy.
That's a good question.
I agree with you, Cyborg. I don't think a guy like this gets this much work, and a guy like Tolbert gets absolutely nothing.
I was impressed. Absolutely.
Without it going unnoticed, and he doesn't become a number 2 in the offense next week. Turpin, who knows if he comes back, and Tolbert, he wasn't even a factor. Tolbert, I don't even know if he was on the field at all. What do you think, Chris?
I wouldn't be surprised if this was just a one-off. I don't see it happening.
It could be.
Alex, you got any thoughts on Flournoy, or are you playing him at all?
It says he was played college football for Central Missouri, Iowa Western Reavers. Okay, and the Red Hawks. Yeah. Okay, I've never even heard of this guy. I keep an eye on rookies, but I have never heard of this dude. He came out and he put on quite a show. But like you said, Tolbert has had his opportunities. He's had his truthers. He's never done anything.
Yes,
Turpin had one good game in week 3, I believe it was. And he was on the waiver wires, trending. I expect Flournoy to trend, and I think he's not a rookie, right? This is his second year.
I believe so. He's young, but I don't think he's a rookie.
Yeah. Anyway, so 6th-round pick, kind of just booming. We've seen it before. I wouldn't invest too much stock. I think he's probably, out of everybody we talked about, he's probably the last guy that I'm gonna put a claim on. because CeeDee Lamb will be back in that. You know, Ferguson's the number one target. Him and Pickens are sharing all the good stuff, and he's playing the CeeDee Lamb role. So Lamb
That's a
will be
great
back.
point, Alex. CeeDee Lamb, we did hear today in some RotoWire news or some type of news that his estimated return time is under 2 weeks. So Lamb will be back, and Flournoy, Talbert, Turpin, they probably will all have minimal roles with Lamb and Pickens. And you know, especially if Ferguson keeps getting targets the way he's getting, all them three will keep getting their work cut out for them.
Absolutely, and shout out to the success. We're not going to talk about him tonight, but Javonte Williams, man. I mean, guys, I had
running back.
In my home league, during the draft, I was trying to move my running backs just to move up around. I was trying to send my running back in a second to get a first. Nobody wanted to bite. Those running backs were laughed at. It was Travis Etienne, Jordan Mason, our guy Javonte Williams, and the other one. It'll come to me eventually. But 4 of them.
You're
all of them
now.
got
That's all I know.
Yeah, so it's pretty decent, man. So yeah, Flournoy. Moving on.
All right,
there we go.
We got 3 tight ends on this slide. We got Mason Taylor, we got Theo Johnson, we got AJ Barner. I'll go ahead and start this off by saying Mason Taylor is possibly, when I say possibly, I mean I believe he is. I believe he's Justin Fields' number 2 option, which is huge. In a Jets offense where they're likely going to be trailing in a lot of games, Mason Taylor had a huge game. Mason Taylor got targets. Mason Taylor got end zone looks. I mean, Mason Taylor looked legit. If he's on your wire and there's not that many good options, I would pick him up personally. And I think he's a great option, especially compared to both of these guys, even though AJ Barner got a ton of end zone looks. He was taking K9's end zone work, Charbonnet's end zone work, and, you know, it took JSN wasn't getting looked at in the end zone quite as much because AJ Barner, I believe he got 2 receiving touchdowns last game. You know, right in the end zone, just hit AJ Barner in the end zone. And Theo Johnson looks like Dart loves him. That getting a lot of targets too. If I had to rank these 3 of where I would prioritize them, if I've seen them all these 3 at the top of my waivers, it would go Mason Taylor at 1. It's a toss-up between the other 2. I'm going to go Theo Johnson, too, because I think A.J. Barner's touchdown looks won't be substantial, and if they are, I just think Theo Johnson's work is more cut out for him than A.J. Barner. What you think, Chris?
Well, Mason Taylor's involvement's just been going up because he started with just a single target, and then it was 6 and 7, and this last week was 12. I mean, he's just getting more and more involved. Theo Johnson happens, I don't know how true this is, but he happens to be Dart's best friend on the team. So I'm thinking that that's going to be a relationship that keeps flourishing. And Barner is getting a lot of red zone looks, but, I mean, he's touchdown dependent is what I'm thinking. So I would use the same ranking system you did. I would go Taylor, Johnson, and Barner.
You can't go wrong with that. Cyborg, do you have any of these guys, or after my explanation, do you think about adding any of these guys?
No, I agree with your assessment there. You seem to know more a lot about it, and yeah, I don't know. I don't have any of these guys. No, I do not. Again, it's just with all the injuries going on, it's not surprising that all these other players are being highlighted. I mean, just overall, you know, it's just incredible the injuries that are, you know, all the starters, you know, first rounders and everything that have gone out is just
everywhere.
Insane.
Yeah.
Alex,
Yeah, speaking of starters,
my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, speaking of starters going out, the Theo Johnson, you know, is it here to stay or not? I mean, we're seeing what the formula is after losing Malik Neighbors. So who's to say that this is something that's going to stick?
Right. Alex, are you starting any of these guys?
I have a bunch of best ball leagues where I invested a 3rd or 4th round pick into George Kittle, and George Kittle has been out. And the beauty of that is because I invested such a high pick, I wasn't taking all these mid-round tight ends, and instead I was picking up your AJ Barners of the world and your Mason Taylors, I have some Ferguson, but like those late round tight ends that are kind of holding everything together. So I'm doing well in best ball, and a lot of it has to do to that man right there, AJ Barner. He saw 7 targets this week, but he's only been getting 2 to 3 targets every other week, and he has been getting his production off of touchdowns. But I don't know if that's going to stop, man. Darnold likes him and looks for him in the red zone. So, but I do like the talent of Mason Taylor, and I think if that's trending upward, he's the guy that I would like to have, especially in Dynasty.
Yeah, I mean, if he's a number 2 target for Fields and they get the ball as much as they're getting, and he's just looking to spread it out. Garrett Wilson's wide receiver 5 right now, and Mason Taylor is just on the rise. All these targets he keeps getting.
He's the second target on that team, right?
That's what. Yep, I agree with that.
So that's gonna do it for our waiver section. What we're gonna do now, guys, is we're gonna get out of the NFL talk and we're gonna start going over some of the in-house stuff. Get back to the Ballsville game. We're gonna kick off with the Gauntlet Recap. We're gonna get into some of the undefeated teams. We're gonna get into some of the matchups of the week with our guy Christopher. Thank you so much for the effort that you put in for the way that you're able to isolate these things and comb through leagues and kind of gather data for us. It's so invaluable to what we do. And we're proud to present you with some of the visuals here. Chris is going to tell us more about these undefeated teams.
Yeah, we've got four undefeated teams left in the Gauntlet. Our first one here is our good friend Dejan Ethan.
Wow.
Look at that monster points against. I mean, is this just a symptom of bad schedule or a good schedule that you're 10-0, or is this one of your...
people just don't show up when they play me? They already know what's going to happen, so they just don't even bother showing up.
They throw the towel in.
that may be it.
Next, we have.
Yeah, this is my team. I think this is my best one going, if not maybe the second best. I do have a 9-1 team as well.
Hit us with that name, Chris.
The Flayed Marseilles? I don't know. I just looked up Google stuff for the team. I was like Apollo, stuff. I Googled everything and just came back with stuff like this.
Yep, I appreciate it. Keeping with the theme. Yeah, so there's some real points against right there. 599.
It's not even that much better, but I'll take it over what Ethan had.
Okay, and we have 2 more.
Yep. The next one we've got Team Grizzy and Anubis Light. He's got a smaller margin of victory, which is impressively lucky, I think. Yes. Only less than 70 points between points against and points for. So that's impressive to see. He's got to be feeling pretty lucky there. And over in Jupiter Light, we've got Chicken Boy, 87. And if you look, his points for and my points for are only like 1 or 2 points away from each other, and our points against are very close as well.
Oh, wow. No, they are. Look at 729.7, 729.78. 599.52, 599.52.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Bro. So, all right, guys, before we move out of this portion right here with our first of all, congratulations to our undefeated teams. It takes a lot to be undefeated, especially with the median. Got to be 10-0, got to keep performing. Congrats, Ethan, Amon Dark, congrats, Chris, Apollo Light, Anubis Light, and Rome Jupiter. So, Jupiter Light. So, remember those. Those are gonna pop up here in a little bit. And moving on to our matchups to watch, our number 1s versus our number 2. Chris, what do you got here?
The number 1s and number 2s this week. There's only 3 matchups, and I happen to be in 2 of them.
Nice.
The first one, we're going against our good friend Jimbo's Bimbos. And all these matchups, it's hard to tell whether or not this is how it's going to shake up because they haven't set their lineups yet. And maybe I haven't set the lineup yet, so I don't know how close these are actually going to pan out. But we've got myself in that undefeated, going against Jimbo's, who's 8-2. Zeus Dark, my 9-1 team, which I like. I almost like this one just as much as the other one. Going against GLC 20. And then in Poseidon Dark, we've got Errol Bolson as the 2 seed going against Grizz Tony, one of our undefeateds in another league. So Grizz Tony's doing pretty good too in these Gauntlet leagues. Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, it's too early to tell because I can't tell you what their final lineup's going to be.
So what I do notice here is this 128 average points for. So sitting at 8-2 with 128, this is going to be one of the teams that it's going to have very low points against. Probably squeaked out some wins and maybe lost against the median is what I would expect with the point total like that. And then we have a 152, the highest over here at 8-2. So the median is one thing, but there's still a luck aspect of how well you're going to do against your opponent each week. But it helps us find the legitimate teams, and nobody wants to be the second highest scorer that loses to the highest scorer. That sucks. So it's good to see you guys doing well. I take it your weekend went well, Ethan.
It went pretty good. I wanted to make a strong point real quick that I just remembered seeing that Zeus Dark right there. I played Chris last week in that league. I was 8-0. I think I lost to the median by like 1 point, and then Chris blew me out by 40. I was 8-0. Bad week in that league.
Wasn't it 70? I think I won by 70.
No, it was no, not that league. It was a different one. But this one was like 170 to like 130 or something. My team underperformed very badly, but overall a decent weekend. DFS kind of hit or miss, but fantasy I did pretty good. Good week.
So that's fun. I'm glad you brought that up because the whole point of this, guys, is that it's very fun for us to do, to have these leagues where you're kind of battling each other. You're seeing some of your common rivals in multiple leagues. You beat me this week, but I beat you with this team. And it's a lot of back and forth. And if you're in the hubs or the Discord, the banter there is great. We do have a code of conduct that keeps people from getting a little carried away. We try to be lenient with it, but anything egregious, we have removed people. We have had people leave and try to come back, and we don't allow that because it's kind of not the behavior that we want to promote. Our goal here is to facilitate a good time, like we just talked about the mini game. We have some free entries tomorrow to give away if you're going to tune in for the soundboard with Sarah. I'll be there. Chris will be there. And we have a really cool guest joining us there tomorrow. So make sure you catch us there. But for now, the next thing we're going to do is real quick. We're going to go over our point leaders. I actually have the point leaders for the season. I have your top 10 quarterbacks. We're going to breeze through those. You guys can tell me who stands out. Number 1, we have Josh Allen, of course. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. Baker Mayfield at 3. Prescott at 4. Matthew Stafford, who Cyborg mentioned, is number 5. 6 is Jalen Hurts. 7 is Jared Goff. 8 is Lamar Jackson, even after missing a week. 9 is Drake May. And 10, Daniel Jones. Cyborg, who stands out on that list? Is that your boy Matthew Stafford?
No, not necessarily. No, I'm still waiting on Mahomes to do something more than what he's doing, actually. That kind of thing. So I drafted him in several leagues. Well, mainly because I got the same draft position amazingly in numerous leagues, always at the 9th, 10th, 11th. And of course, Mahomes was always available at that point. And he's the best one, and yep. he was projected to do well. And well, there you go. That's where we are. So
that's a good point. He was always at the end of the first, early second, and if you believed in him, he's returning on value now with the at number 2 for the quarterback ranking so far through 5 weeks. What it stands out to me is Matthew Stafford at number 5 because he was going off the board as like quarterback 28 or 30 or something.
Right. Yes. True.
So that's a value. The running backs at number 1, Mr. Christian McCaffrey. Number 2, Jonathan Taylor. Number 3, Javonte Williams, who we talked about. Number 4, James Cook, even after this down week. Number 5, Jahmyr Gibbs. Number
Oh.
6 is Devon A-Chain. Number 7 is Bijan Robinson. Number 9 is Kyron Williams. Or number 8 is Kyron Williams, sorry. And number 9 is Saquon Barkley, and I cropped off number 10. So, Ethan, anybody on that list stand out to you?
There is one guy on that list that was relatively low, but I could see him increasingly climb the ranks, and that's going to be number 6, Devon A-Chain from the Miami Dolphins. Especially in PPR leagues with Tyreek Hill out the rest of the year, A-Chain is going to get a lot of work. He kind of had a down week last week and a couple other weeks, but I can see him really being a top 1 or 2, maybe top 3. I mean, maybe top 2 or 1, but top 3 running back. He's I feel like his floor is insanely low. I feel like his ceiling can be crazy high. That's one of the ones I like. And then Javonte at 3. I mean, who could have guessed that? I mean, I always like Javonte,
Right.
but he's eating this year. He's showing what he's worth this year. I don't know if Denver just couldn't do it for him, but he's nice with it.
Oh yeah, I agree with
All
that.
right, Chris. Going to the wide receivers at number 1, we have Mr. Puka Nacua, who I was dead wrong about. I mean, I knew he was talented. I didn't think Stafford was going to be able to get so far with his back issues, but here we are. Puka Nacua, number 1, more than 20 points ahead of number 2, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Number 3, Igbuka. Number 3. Number 4, JSN. Number 5 is Garrett Wilson. Number 6 is George Pickens. 7 is Deebo Samuel. Quentin Johnson at number 8. And number 9 is Jamar Chase. And I cropped off number 10 again. So the top 9. Chris, who stands out?
I mean, of course, Igbuka stands out, but half of them do because it's making it sound like you can just pick up anybody at wide receiver. As long as you hit 50% of the players that you pick in your roster, you're going to do fine. So why don't you just go running back, your first 3 positional player slots when you draft, and just hope you hit on your wide receivers down the line, because any one of these guys could have gone later than the 3rd round.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, you're talking about George Pickens, Deebo Samuel, Quentin Johnson. I mean, these are the guys in the top 10. There's no Justin Jefferson there. Obviously none of the guys we picked, the Brian Thomas Jr.'s, the Malik and Tyreek and stuff. So if you felt cornered into picking CeeDee Lamb, yeah, there's another one. 5 weeks in, anything can change. And then just to give you the top 5 at tight end, we have Jake Ferguson, Dalton Kincaid, which is a surprise, Tyler Warren, which I think a lot of people are taking victory sips on because, a lot of people in our community were high on Tyler Warren. There's talk of him being tight end 1. So, Chris, I think you're one of them, right? You're the Tyler Warren guy?
No. I'm not a rookie guy usually altogether. No.
It could have been Connor.
I was more of a Kittle guy, and that kind of bit me in the butt. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. And then McBride and Henry to finish up the top 5. McBride's the only person that he was going tight end number 2, and he's at tight end number 4. So kind of holding on to value, but it seemed like that weight on tight end was the strategy for the year so far. So that covers the NFL leaders, and what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go right back to our leaders for the games here. If you come to the website, come scroll down till you find sticky scoreboards. The tools are still open, guys. We have no time frame for closing those down, so go take advantage of those. But you can come here. You can sort by the game for the Gauntlet. If you want to sort that, we have Euro Bolsum with the high score of 742 coming out of Poseidon. Our guy Chicken Boy, who is undefeated at 728. Lynn, Cheeky Hobson, K-Dog, GLC, our good friend Todd Barber in Poseidon. Sorry for cussing. Apollo Light right there. That's your undefeated team, right? Apollo Light.
Yep.
Artful Dodger, White Knight. He's a good friend. And then DJ and Ethan back to back right here. Amon-Ra Dark is his undefeated team, and if you click on him, you can actually see his roster and how they perform. That's a glitch. Mahomes has more than 0 points.
But yeah, hey, they gotta count my stats.
Yeah, so I know. Hey, you might be number one, and we don't know it. So, and then you can go and look at your other leagues and see how you're doing. So you're overall doing pretty well. Your bottom league is 551. One thing missing from this league, guys, if you can't tell, is your boy Westlex here. I'm in 7 of them, and I am not on the top list. So, yeah, take advantage of the scoreboard. You can come over here. You can sort by dynasty. You can sort by redraft, mini, big. We'll cover a little bit of this tomorrow on the Ballsville update during the soundboard pod. But it's going to be pretty cool to just kind of monitor this throughout the whole, throughout the year, and kind of you'll be able to monitor your competition and see how everybody's doing. And I mean, Chris, how often do you come over here and check out these scoreboards?
I like to check them out once a week. I'm going to have to start doing it closer to the weekend, though, because I noticed that my score on the Gauntlet was wrong, too, because I was right up there with Chicken Boy. Remember, my points were right next to his, but they're different on here. So,
yeah. Well, if we look, Mahomes was the Monday night game. So what I found is that after 24 hours, it's a little more reliable. You give it a little bit of time to buffer. We can cover it now and see how things are. It might be a little premature, but it's open, so everybody can go check it out and watch it as it updates.
Yeah,
see if Ethan jumps up.
I think that's right. If you do have a Monday game, because we had the same issue last week with Devon A-Chain, it didn't update right away. So I mean, I believe if you check like Tuesday morning or even like later on tonight, if you're just like up at like midnight or something and check it, I'm pretty sure it'll update. So,
yep.
All right, guys. So we're at about 3/4 of the hour. So we're going to move on to our next segment. We're going to take this off the board, and we're going to jump into some of the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to go right back to recapping a little bit of the weekend and kind of give us the points that we want to cover for the good, what we saw that was bad, and some of the stuff that's a little bit worse than bad that could be a problem going forward. We're going to turn it over to Ethan first to give us your take on what you found to be good from the weekend.
All right. So I didn't like this player in the off season for obvious for pub sub bets and all types of stuff. So don't flame me in the chat. Don't flame me on the show. But my good player for the week is going to be Emeka Egbuka. He had 7 catches, and with them 7 catches, he did some damage. He had around 160 receiving yards, had 1 or 2 touchdowns. I can't remember the exact stats, but Baker Mayfield loves that kid. I mean, that's his number one right now. I mean, Evans is out, but when Evans and him are back on the field, they're both going to be balling out. And Mayfield's QB3, Egbuka's wide receiver 3. That Bucs offense is legit. We knew it was legit. We were saying all offseason it was legit. And if you didn't, you don't watch Bucs ball. Emeka Egbuka is a good football player, and I'm sorry for saying he wasn't. But he's awesome.
That's cool, man. A man of honor right there. And read between the lines of what he just said, guys. When Mike Evans comes back, Chris Godwin, who you drafted in round 7 or 8, you waited 4 weeks for him to come back, underperform, and he's going to end up being that wide receiver 3 because Egbuka is that dominant. I was wrong about him too. I took Matthew Golden over him in rookie draft, so I mean, I feel the pain. We'll go to Chris. Chris, what do you have for the good?
My good player of the week is Rico Dowdle. He played amazing. He had 206 yards rushing, 9 yards per carry. 9 yards, yep. 3 receptions for 28 yards, a touchdown rush. I mean, he killed it this week. I don't think it's going to continue. Once Hubbard gets back, it'll be more like a 50-50 split at the most. But he's a must start as long as Hubbard's out, I would say.
He's a must start. He's a must start next week against his former team too. He's hungry. He's going to be emotional.
Yes.
That might be a red herring. I don't know about that.
Come on.
I mean, he's no Demarcus Robinson, guys, and he's not going to. No, but Could you imagine if that was if that was him instead of Montgomery? He's the one that threw the touchdown pass, right? That was Montgomery.
That was Montgomery, yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine if Dowdle did that? I mean, people would be going crazy. You'd be seeing him going for first round picks. It's funny you mention him because I just noticed in some of these Gauntlet leagues that he was picked up off the waiver wire, and on 2 occasions, I'm pretty sure I beat JoJo and Ethan beat JoJo just by the order because we both had $0 bids on Rico Dowdle, and JoJo missed out on both of them just by the order. And there were $0 bids.
JoJo said, "Not again."
Not again. Yeah, it was me, and then it was you. And yeah, that was a good one.
We got lucky there. We'll take our small wins.
So we flirted with this earlier, but we were talking about the Jags. But Cyborg, I know you wanted to talk about the Jags as you're good. Tell me what you saw.
I saw a lot of good stuff from the Jags. Surprisingly, yes, absolutely. As I said earlier about Trevor Lawrence, I mean, where is that going? Wow! All of a sudden, out of nowhere, out of left field, basically. They're contenders. That's all I got to say. Pretty much, yeah, they're contenders.
Yeah, I mean, they beat San Francisco. They beat the Chiefs. I mean, they're rolling. I wish I knew what their schedule looked like right now. I could have brought that up. But,
I know, right?
Yeah, we'll check it out. But does it really matter? I mean, they're taking down, some of these, divisional champions. I mean, bring it on, right? Let's see what they got.
They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Trading up for Travis Hunter in the rookie
draft. I picked Kansas City in all my pools to win, and
ouch. That's why we have the redemption one, guys. We have the mini game is here for your redemption. You get another opportunity. No more Cardinals. No more KC over Jags. Fresh start.
Fresh start.
So we'll get into some of the bad. We'll kick it over to Chris first for the bad. What did you see over the weekend, Chris?
So my bad is Derrick Henry. I mean, he's gross, or has been gross since week 1. He had 15 carries for 33 yards on a whopping 2.2 yards per carry. He added a garbage time touchdown, but don't let that fool you. He played horribly. Absolute trash.
Oh, man. Cyborg, I see that you put down Travion Henderson. Tell us about it.
Travion Henderson coming up in the ranks there.
You think they're going to continue to feed Ramondre, or you think they're going to give the rookie some opportunity there?
I think it may be a split. It's hard to say. Not
you never know with Vrabel anyways.
Yeah, man. Those Pats. I'll tell you what. After the Gibson injury, I needed 8 points from Travion Henderson, and after Gibson got injured, I said, "Oh, I'm a shoo-in. Ramondre just fumbled.
Ramondre fumbled too. Yeah, I would have thought that too.
Yeah, and it was just 2.5 quarters of pure suspense and misery in the end. So the ugly. All right, the ugly. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Ethan first for your ugly. Go ahead and give us your ugly, Ethan.
My ugly, this player's been playing really good all year. Had an off game last game. I watched the game. Kind of had to do with the script a little bit. It's going to be James Cook. James Cook didn't really do much. Bills offense, I mean, it was kind of a sloppy game at first. Josh Allen kind of just took control of the game, hitting Kincaid a ton, hitting his receivers a ton. He just kind of took over the game. He kind of was tired. It seemed like he was tired of everything that was going on and just took the matters in his own hands. But James Cook's had a great year. He's still RB4 after that dud. But Bills were favorites that game. Bills were over a touchdown favorites. I would have thought that James Cook would run all over them, once they reach a certain score. And I mean, still they were pretty much, in the game and up all game, and they could have managed the clock all game. Thinking that James Cook could have, gotten more work and at least, I would think at least 12 points is his floor at this point because he's been going way over that every single game, and he's been part of their game plan every game. He's been part of their he's been doing a lot every single game. So I would think that's a safe floor, and that's why that's my bad. That's my solidified bad.
Yeah, I never thought 4 points would be James Cook's floor. That is pretty rough. And that was your bad. And my bad for calling it your ugly because we're not there yet. Now we're at the ugly. And we're going to go to Cyborg first so that he can tell us about this top tier passing attack in Cleveland and what it means for these receivers.
Man, the ugly. Where the hell is Jerry Jeudy? Where the hell is he? What's going on? Where? Hello, Spock to Enterprise. I mean, come on. I mean, I was just looking it up. Actually, he hasn't done really nothing much since week 1. 66 receiving yards week 1. Ever since then, it's been mediocre. 51 the second week. Looks like a downward spiral. Week 3, 17 yards. Come on. He did so well last year. I'm just surprised.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then Tillman's out, and they're kind of passing the ball to Bond a little bit more than I thought they would. It's nice to see him get involved, but it does kind of put a shadow on Jerry Jeudy because he's not really commanding the targets like I thought he would.
Right.
And they just love those tight ends, man, and they're talented. I mean, Njoku might be the second most talented tight end in Cleveland, and that's saying a lot because that dude's got a lot of skills. We'll pass it over to Ethan to tell us about your ugly. What you got, man?
All right. I was talking about this game last year in Discord. They played again this Sunday. It's going to be the Baltimore Ravens against the Houston Texans. Last year, I'm sure we all watched the Christmas Day game on Netflix or wherever you watched it from, where they played, and the Houston Texans offense put up a staggering 0 points against them. This year, the roles were reversed. This year, led by Cooper Rush and that Baltimore team that, I think as a fill-in quarterback, you're still supposed to try to get it done. Houston's not their defense is good, but they're not just a great team. They got Miley Watt 44-10. Cooper Rush played terrible. The touchdown came in garbage time, so you could say it was really worse than the score even implicated.
Winning's winning.
I think Chris touched on Derrick Henry earlier. Derrick Henry can't get the ball moving in any direction. The passing game wasn't getting going. There were top receivers, top pass catchers, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. They didn't get really involved at all, and Flowers got a good catch at the end of the game. But I mean, that was pretty much it. Look for Lamar to return soon. Maybe they can get something going for that Baltimore team. Try to,
that's a good point.
Try to sneak into the playoffs at this point. I mean, that's crazy. We're saying that in week 5 going into week 6, but we were thinking Baltimore is somewhat of a playoff team. I mean, definitely a playoff team / Super Bowl contender possibly. But what are they right now? 1-4. I mean, are we going to see them turn around this year?
Well, what if I told you going into the season that the Jags would be 4-1 and the Ravens would be 1-4?
No. I thought you were drunk.
I don't think the Ravens would be 1-4. The Jags are. The Jags are good, but the Ravens is shocking.
So who's really good? What this has taught me is that Lamar Jackson is the real MVP because that team is nothing without him, man. Oh my goodness.
This clearly shows that, yes.
To wrap up the segment, Chris, go ahead and tell us about your ugly for the week.
My ugly was that Arizona Cardinals collapse. It was a disaster. Let me paint a picture for you. With just a little over 8 minutes left in the game and up by 9 points, Demercado breaks free for what would have been at least a 16-point lead had he held onto the ball and not been an ass and dropped the ball before the goal line. What happens instead is he drops the ball, and then later on, they get an interception at the 1 or 2 yard line, and the guy who intercepts it fumbles the ball, and it gets kicked into the end zone. And Tyler Lockett recovers it in the end zone for a defensive touchdown because now he's a defensive player. And now they're down 2.
Tyler Lockett. There he is.
Back with just a little over 2 minutes left. And all they need to do is get a first down. But no, all they want to do, they don't want to take the chance. They just want to run. And then the Titans get the ball back. Titans get the ball back, and then they let old man frickin' Ridley loose down to the 17-yard line. I mean, he had a 38-yard catch, and I mean, you can't cover old man Ridley. He hasn't done anything all year.
Yeah,
Arizona collapsed. I mean, that makes me think Vegas, baby. They had something to do with this. But
That was rough.
That
Somebody
class
made a phone call.
was unreal. That hurt my soul. I'm telling you, that hurt my soul. That was a bad one.
Oh man. So yeah, we need to, we have like the immaculate reception and all this stuff. We need to come up with a name for that interception, bobble circus thing. That was ridiculous. What are they doing?
How could they not jump on the ball and just jump on it? And,
with as many players that drop the ball before the goal line that happens, it seems like it happens once a year at least.
It seems like once a week lately.
Whenever it happens, there's going to be a team meeting before the NFL season, and they say, if you do this, you are cut. If you're not a vital part of this team, if you're a third stringer or whatever, and you pull this crap, you are not getting on the plane.
I agree with you.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that actually piggybacks on our DeMarcado shout out earlier, because that was the guy who dropped the ball. And does this mean that Michael Carter is going to be the one that gets the opportunity? I think so. So that's going to wrap up our good, our bad, our ugly. We're going to get into the last little portion here, the Gauntlet Recap, guys. This is going to be something that's going to be a little bit more expedited. I'm going to go over things real quick. Take a deep breath here. And so the Gauntlet is its own thing. For 2025, the rules were written. It was written in three-part harmony. Three of us wrote the rules. We designed it. We made the leagues, everything. So now we're down to just me. Chris and Ethan are stepping up, and they're going to help out with the Gauntlet. We have three legions. We have the Egyptians depicted here. We have the Greek Legion depicted here. And we have the Roman Legion depicted here. Now, I'm going to be running the Roman Legion. Chris is going to take the Greeks, and Ethan's going to take the Egyptians. So what you're looking at here is our all-encompassing our template that is going to demonstrate the players that are in the league. So if you're in a Monroe Light, your name is going to pop up in one of these slots. Now, the way you perform in the redraft is going to dictate where your seeding is. All right, so 1 through 12, you will be seeded. So if you finish out as the top team in your redraft league, not only are you going to be the number one seed, as long as you don't get eliminated in these 4 weeks, but you're going to receive a $50 bonus for finishing number one seed after week 8, after the redraft portion of your league. Now, that's the 2025 version. Right now, in our brass balls where our managers sit, we're playing the 2026 version of this game. And in this game, we're playing a pirate format. So if you click on a matchup, you're going to see one positional player, a quarterback, a running back, a receiver, and a tight end. And then when you get down to the next 4, you're going to have 4 flex spots. This will be 5 next year. The reason it's 4 is because we have 14 people in this league for the prototype. Next year, it'll be 12 people. So these 4 flexes, you get one person that you get to put a little skull emblem right here. This person put it on Travis Etienne. That means that if they lose, the winner cannot pilfer or plunder that person. Travis Etienne is protected. On the right side, we have RJ Harvey protected. So if you beat your opponent, you get the option of swapping out one of the vulnerable flex players in that side for any one of your flex players. So in this instance, if the right side wins, he can take Shakir or even Garrett Wilson, who is not protected for some reason. He could take Garrett Wilson and give him Dalton Schultz or Torrey Holton or Kareem Hunt. They get a pick. If there's no player there that you want, then you can just switch it out for 25% of their fab, as BJ and Ethan did right here to Chris, right? Ethan won?
Yep. I got 25% this week.
Yeah, so right now that's 59 fab because he has more than the balance we started with. And it incurs strategy because you can actually, if you're projected to lose, maybe you take Garrett Wilson out of your lineup and you put some scrub there. That way he's protected because he's not in your lineup, and you just kind of lean into the loss. But if you feel like you could win, maybe you leave him there and you risk him. So there's a lot of strategy involved in this format. We play 8 weeks of this, and then at the end of those 8 weeks in this 2026 version, 2 teams will get cut, and then 4 more during the guillotine portion, and we're going to go into the bracket with 6 teams. For the 2025 version, coming back over here, you're going to see only 4 teams get cut during the redraft portion. Your draft order does not change. All right. So after week 8, you're going to get 1 through 12. As a team gets eliminated, they're going to be removed from that order. That order will collapse. And if you're the number 7 and the number 6 gets removed, then now you're the number 6 seed. Everybody moves up. So that's how it's going to be. So if you're the number 1 and you don't get chopped, you will enter the playoff bracket over here as the number 1. In addition, after the redraft portion of week 8, not only can you win $50 for being, $30 for being the number 1 seed in every league. There's 24 leagues, so every league there's going to be a $30 winner. But you also have a bonus here called the Early Dominator, and each legion is going to give away a bonus of $50. So after week 8, you can come out with $80 if you're dominating. If you're, the Christophers and the Ethans putting up all those points. For the second portion, Leg 2, the guillotine aspect of it, if you come out of that and you are the game high scorer, or actually for every week out of these 4 weeks, we're going to give away $25 to the game's high score. That's the bonus there. In addition, after week 12, if you are the point leader, so you can be the number 1 seed and not be the point leader. But if you are the point leader, you're also going to win $50. That's depicted here. So that's another $75 in prizes that you can accumulate. And all these stack. The payouts, the bonuses stack. And then you get into the bracket portion. Now, in this portion, you're going to notice that the light and the dark realm are going to come together. So if you're a number 1 seed in the light side, you're going to face the number 8 seed in the dark side. So the redraft portion matters very much because it's going to give you a little bit of a payout, and it's going to determine your seeding. That seeding does stick, and then you get the easier matchup going into the playoff portion. And then from there, you're going to, after week 14, you're going to start getting into payouts. You win your match, you're going to win 50, 75, 128. And then at the end of the bracket portion, and again, this is best ball. It's going to be a best ball format. Your roster is going to expand after during the guillotine portion. So you'll have a deeper bench, and then you're going to be doing a best ball. Only points matter, and you're going to follow the bracket. So if you win here, now you're facing the winner of this matchup. It'll be all laid out for you. We'll display it on these podcasts. All the information will be out there, and then your names will be added here in this little chart to indicate that you won that prize. There's a couple more conditional bonuses here. All this stuff is on the website. If you go find the Gauntlet portion of our website, you can see the full cash breakdown, all the details. But this is going to be where your names are entered. The 3 of us, Chris, myself, and Ethan here, are going to be there to kind of coach you through the process and let you know where you're at, where your standings are, your payouts. And then during week 9, we'll be there to kind of urge people that lose to drop their team, because this year it will be a best ball format, and we can't convert to a chopped league because it doesn't offer the best ball option. So we have to manually drop all these teams. So you'll need to help us out and drop your team if you're prompted. Otherwise, we have to go and manually drop them. So next year, it's going to be a regular playoff bracket, not best ball. So we can conform to a chop league and just manually chop the bottom teams, which will be much easier on us because it's already a lot of work to update these spreadsheets and kind of track you along the way. But we do it to bring you the best experience. And that's what we have to look forward to. As early as week 8, we're going to start seeing some of the seedings and some of the winners. And it's gonna be a good time, guys. Ethan, what do you think about it, man?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready for it. As Chris says, week 9 is when the real games begin. Seeing teams get chopped away, seeing the brackets get in place. I had a couple of questions though, Alex. The bracket I believe it said week 14 or 15. It starts with your $50 payout, then 75, then 128 or whatever. I was wanted to ask you. So if like let's say me or Chris or whoever else, a random person, let's just say we won the 24 bracket of teams. So does your 128 plus is it 128 plus 75 plus 50 like a stackable payout?
Yeah, so they stack up. They continue to stack. So as they stack up, they have the potential to reach X amount. The minimum and the maximums are on the cash stock on the site. They're hard to remember off the top of my head because we do have 5 games and they're all multi-digit payouts, right? So you guys can go look on the website. It's the cash stock that you want to click on. It's going to show you a breakdown of all the prizes, the bonuses, the payouts. I know the upside for the grand champion, whoever wins. So after this bracket, you're going to be the God winner. You're the God champion or whatever you want to call yourself. We're going to take you and you're going to face off against the other 11 winners. And every God is going to have a champion and you guys can wager with your money. But we're going to have prizes there for you. It's like close to $500 in prizes and all that stuff is stackable. So you can come out of this if people want to play the game and wager. You can come out of this. I think it was like 4.3K or something like that. And it also leaves the door open. So if you do well and you get outed in round 15, you're still walking away with some money. There's a lot of payouts along the way, and just like our Ballsville formula always does, you have great odds and the opportunity for big payouts. That's what we're all about. And that's what the Ballsville game is. It's a formula, and it's just the way that we play our game. So good times ahead, guys. That's going to be the end of our recap for the Gauntlet. We're just a few weeks out from some real good action. It'd be less NFL talk, and we
are really close. This month happening at the end of this month, I believe.
I have a quick question on the 2026 version, the Brass Balls version here. Is there a time limit on putting in your Crossbones pick? Is it before they play their game or is it before the Thursday game?
It's before the Thursday game. And it's a good thing you said that because we had somebody do that before their game on Sunday. And we have to set a precedent. So the Crossbones tag is going to have to be before the Thursday game. It could be right up till kickoff. But if you do it after kickoff, it's not going to be valid and all of your players will be vulnerable.
And that will happen as well if a player you were putting Crossbones on is playing, but then is like deemed out by like Friday or Saturday.
Ooh, that's it. See that's why we love Chris here, man, because Chris has such attention to detail. And see, now that's something that we're going to bring up, and we're going to try to have a conversation to see what we can do to mitigate that factor. Maybe it's if that person's out, the person you put in can be protected, but you can't protect people that have played. That's a good thing you said that right there. Let's revisit that. And another thing, while we're on the subject, we will have what we're going to call enforcers, trade enforcers. So if you lose in the 2026 version, you have to send the trade out for the person that got plundered or your fab. If you fail to comply, as people are bound to do when they check out, the enforcer is going to have the power to come, make the transaction manually with commish powers, and you're going to get deducted $10 fab as a penalty for not, expediting that process and making us work. You know what I mean? So that'll be the rules, and it's probably going to be the 3 of us, and we'll be right there to kind of, do the chop. So you, Cyborg, you're not really in these leagues. Are you in any of the Gauntlet leagues?
No, I'm not. I'm mostly in y'all's best ball stuff. A lot of that.
So as an outsider to the leagues, I mean, how does this sound to you?
Man, this sounds pretty deep. I was sitting here going,
next year.
I mean, the amount of work y'all are putting into this is just amazing. Kudos to that. Absolutely. So it looks pretty fun. I may have to look at that next year,
Yeah, and the beauty of it is that you know, when you have guys like Ethan and Chris here, like they're so capable of understanding the game and all the nuances. They ask the right questions. What's not defined, they kind of ask about, and we get clarity going in. And because of that, we're able to kind of coach the players throughout the process, so that when people come in, they get kind of like lost in the sauce. We can kind of point them in the right direction. We're always here for questions. And I firmly believe that once you play in one of these, like the people that play in the big game best ball, they play in there once and they come back next year because it's so fun. So high hopes for this year, but I mean, my expectations for next year are they're beyond that. I think we're gonna have a good time introducing people into pirate leagues and keeping it all, you know, user friendly. But that's going to do it, guys, for the gauntlet. The recap here. We'll go around the horn one more time. Chris, do you have any parting words before we sign off?
No, only that. See you guys again tomorrow. I'll be here with Sarah. So.
Yeah, she's a little more structured than we are. This is we're gritty here. She's really buttoned up. So, Ethan, what do you got?
Glad to be here. I had a great time, great show, great talking some football, great talking about the Gauntlet leagues that are going to transform into the playoffs and the guillotine and all that good stuff. Looking forward to everything of it.
Oh, love it, man. Thank you, and thank you for being here. Cyborg, man, you came in the last minute. You did great. I don't know what you use for your audio, but your audio is so crisp, man. What do you got for us? You got any kind of sign out? Want to tell people where they can catch you?
Yeah, I just want to highlight one other performance this weekend. Couple, but mainly the Houston Texans. I mean, this is you know, a little shining light. Same with Dallas Cowboys, my Texas team. Now, of course, you know, the Longhorns in college, they didn't do too well, but you know, so I don't know. Could be just a spurt, you know, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next, you know, because I've always, you know, the past couple of years, I believed in C.J. Stroud. I thought he was the next big quarterback. So I'm disappointed that it hasn't happened yet, but I'm thinking it's.
Well, spreading us apart, like right here, that's the difference between us. I'm not a believer.
Not a believer. I'm probably a little biased, of course, but you know, that's it.
Yeah, I like it, man. I have a lot of CG Stroud. Actually, in one of the leagues where I started off 0-4 and decided to lead into the rebuild, I traded Kyler Murray for CG Stroud. Oh, Kyler Murray in a second for CG Stroud in the first. And kind of looking good right now. So that's how quickly the tides can change, guys. You know, if you're 0-5, you know, there's hope. If you're 1-4, stick in there. Continue to set your lineups. Continue to be competitive. If you're in Dynasty by chance, you know, we go off of max points. So setting a proper lineup is part of the bylaws. We do police that. Just continue to, you know, keep the hope alive, guys. There's been a lot of stuff around in Ballsville, a lot of, you know, things going on in people's ears and stuff. But we want you to know that, like Cyborg said, we do the work. It is important to us that we provide the best experience possible for your dollar. And we want to thank you all for choosing us to come play here. For me and the crew, we'll see you tomorrow on the soundboard, and that's a wrap.